Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And this is unbelievable, but the NHS in Scotland has just enabled doctors, local doctors, GPs, to hand out hormonal drugs to children. So any child that wants to transition doesn't go and see a consultant, doesn't go and see a gender transitional specialist, doesn't even need psychiatric counselling. They just go to the GP and the GP hand out these drugs like Smarties. What is going on? It's another attack. They're coming after children again. And the thing is, nobody is looking after them. This is a one-way street. Why is it being allowed? Well, I'll tell you, partially it's because of fear. These spineless people who will not stand up to this bunch of loud-mouthed, mentally ill trans lobbyists and say, no, enough is enough. Keep away from children, you dangerous, depraved scum. They keep coming for the children, and this is what's happening. And you're letting it. I'm letting it. We're not on the streets. I'm raising awareness, but we should be out there and stopping this at its source and demanding from every one of our politicians that this be banned. Let's look at this article. I'm already angry. So here it is. Family doctors may be empowered to hand out hormone-altering drugs on demand. No evaluation, just hand them out. Oh, and look, health is a human right, but look, we're going to put it in the gay colours. Yeah, with the monkeypox going on, we know that their health is quite important to them because we know where monkeypox infects. But this is a trans issue, and it is awful. Local doctors in Scotland will be allowed to offer powerful hormone-altering drugs upon request without the need for consultation from gender specialists in order to speed up waiting times for people to transition. In other words, quick, get them through the gates. We can't get enough of these children's lives ruined. Quick, sterilise the children. Get them in quick. These fascists are pushing children down a one-way street and they're accelerating it and they're removing laws that would protect children. They are going to see a massive spike of mental instability, mental problems, and self-ending in a few years' time. This is what they're doing. This is what this dangerous, dangerous travesty of an organisation is doing to children. It's pushing them into sterilisation and mental health issues. The National Health Service in Scotland, alongside the country's Deputy Chief Medical Officer, has called for family doctors to be able to prescribe bridging hormone prescriptions to patients who've received a referral to a gender specialist clinic but have been put on a waiting list. So you get the referral to the clinic, but you haven't seen the clinician yet. But while you're waiting, here, have these, let's cut your ghoulies off. But actually, there's another issue which I'm going to come to as well. This call comes as 4 gender identity clinics have seen a rapid and unexplained increase in people seeking treatment, with some new patients expecting to wait around for 4 years on waiting lists, leading some to seek hormone drugs online. Why is this push happening? It's TikTok. Yeah, it's the trans lobby pushing children on TikTok. Go and get it done. Oh, you like this. You're not gay. You want to be a woman. You're not gay. You want to be a woman. Oh, are you a lesbian girl? No, you really want to be a man. Rather than letting them be who they are, they're pushing an agenda. And anyone who criticises at any point is an istonophobe. I'm an istonophobe. I don't care. Come after me. I don't care. You are degenerate and you are scum. Anyway, therefore, the report said that local general practitioners should be empowered to prescribe the drugs in order to prevent people from self-medicating. Yeah, you're enabling and assisting the mental breakdown and sterilisation of children. Do you feel good about that? If you're a doctor, do you look back on that in years to come when you see the massive rates of self-ending? And will you look back on your life with pride? I suspect not. However, many in the medical industry have criticised the plan. Well, of course they have, because not everyone in the medical industry is a complete moron, arguing that local GPs are not trained in dealing with such patients. Others cite a lack of scientific understanding of the long-term ramifications powerful hormone treatments can have on patients, with the NHS admitting that some side effects of drugs can include infertility and blood clotting. Yeah, but they're not telling people that as they're shoving this down their throats. Hey, little boy, have some of this and you can be a little girl. You'll never be a little girl. As they're pumping these drugs into people, into these children, they need to be saying to them, you can take as much of this as you like, Sonny, but you'll never be a woman. You'll just be an incomplete man and society will despise you. They won't accept you. They will look at you and say, that's a man in a dress, and always will. And with the way sport's going, you'll never play football for a girls' team. And you'll be too weak to play for a boys' team. Oh, and you're sterile and you'll never have children. Tell them that before they do it. Anyway, Dr. Catriona Morton of the Royal College of General Practitioners Scotland said, our membership tells us that GPs often feel it is outside their area of competence to undertake assessment or treatment for patients with gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is a mental illness. It should not be treated by a GP. It should be treated by a psychiatrist. Furthermore, a major issue facing this area of healthcare is a significant lack of robust, comprehensive evidence around the outcomes. Well, actually, there is evidence around there. Virtually every study that's ever shown the long-term effects of this has shown regret, remorse, higher incidence of ending oneself, reversals, massive mental issues, massive. Something like 90% of people who go through it wish they hadn't. That's what virtually every study shows. And yet this trans lobby is forcing this and pushing this agenda to destroy children who they don't care. Children, they're dispensable because they're pushing the agenda. And we are allowing this to happen. And NHS Scotland is a spineless jellyfish organisation for pushing this. People of Scotland, get up there and make your voices heard. Get up and stand up and shout, shout, shout. The SNP ultimately are in charge of this. So old Nicola Sturgeon, old fish face, what's she doing damaging your children like this? Why is she not answerable to you? Make her answer. The director of the campaign group for Women Scotland, Tina Bridge, said, when concerns are growing about the efficacy of these treatments, compounded by significant issues over a lack of long-term studies and harms to brain and bone development, it seems reckless to cut out specialist diagnosis teams and mental health treatment, which I've been saying for months. The new surge in new patients, particularly amongst teenage girls, needs to be investigated before assuming fast tracking of medicalisation will solve their often complex problems. I'm going to do a side note on this issue with the teenage girls. Why are so many teenage girls pushing to become boys? Think about this. Look at society. Look at the trans lobby. They want women defined as being women and men who define themselves as women. They're cancelling women. They're constantly cancelling women. They're removing women's rights, women's opportunities, women's freedoms. Who are the best swimmers? Men. Who are the best cyclists? Men. Who gets all the targeted stuff here, there and everywhere? Men. Who are more successful at things? Men. Why? Because the trans lobby are cancelling women to make men better than women in things that women do. Who makes woman of the year could be Leah Thomas. Who's the best woman? A man. It's no wonder that young girls seeing this think being a woman is worthless. That's what this trans lobby are doing. They're making women invisible and feeling worthless. They're damaging young girls. Young girls are turning to this because they feel worthless because of what the trans lobby are doing. And they're your daughters. They're your sisters. Let's not let this happen. Let's fight this every inch of the way from these sick, depraved weirdos. They are mentally ill and they should be ignored and they should be treated and they should never be given a voice and they should never be listened to and they should never be given authority. They are dangerous. They are targeting children all the time and now you're getting massive, massive mental health issues because of this trans lobby. Now let's look at that picture. Doesn't that remind you of the Nuremberg marches in the 30s? That's what you're dealing with. Fascism. Trans fascism. I'm going to come up now because honestly I can feel the bile running and I'm about to explode. So people of Scotland, the NHS in Scotland is your responsibility. But is this what you wanted? Is this what you voted for when you voted for the SNP? You've got Sturgeon and Swinney and all the other reprobate scum sitting in your parliament passing these laws. Not content with filling their heads with socialist Marxist crap, they're now destroying their bodies. Is that what you want? Do you want your children sterilised? Do you want their mental health compromised? Do you want 90% of them to regret this, and a lot of them to end themselves? Because that's what's happening. That's what you're voting for by voting in these evil, evil people. Because they are allowing it. They have let this happen. Jesus, it's hard enough to see a GP at the best of times. If the only way you can see a GP is to claim you're gender changing, well, poor old Scotland. That's all I say. You used to be a brave nation. You used to be a wise nation. You used to have an excellent sense of education. You're now the lowest. You're now one of the lowest educated countries in Europe. Why? Marxism, socialism, the left. You see it and you know it. And you keep voting in the SNP. And now the SNP are coming for your children. Well done, Scotland. The scary thing is, what happens there is going to come south. And that frightens me. You need to stop this now. I'm going to calm down because I can feel it. It's just such an angry one. But if you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, protect your children, and goodbye.